Why would you say that is, and what that communicates about you guys?
It's overall collective will, we have as a team, and elite role clarity is what I would call it. We have two all-stars on our team, but at the same time, they'll be the first to tell you that it can be anybody's night at any given time. So we just really are really following that philosophy.
Myles, what has been different about, I know you've obviously been with this team your whole career, almost going on 2 years. I'm sure this question is asked, but truly after seeing the performance in game one and how you guys closed it out, what is it that makes this team so resilient in comparison to not teams in the past, but what is really a separating difference, you feel like, from your perspective?
We're battle tested, man. I think we do well with adversity. I think we thrive in adversity. I think that this team hasn't been like a cupcake run for us. We over the past really 4 years, we've really built, towards this moment. So I think that more than anything, the last 2 months of the season or so, we were in a position quite a bit where we had to fight from behind to come back. And when you have that mock test coming into, the final test being here, it does nothing but help you.
It's all about being ahead at the end. But what do you take away from this game, this first game? I mean, only being ahead 0.3 seconds. But what do you guys need to change for game two?
I don't see it that way. I think that at this final stage, you're not always going to be up by 10, 20 points. You spend so much time studying the other team and scouting that, sometimes it'll come down to 1 or 2 plays or 1 or 2 possessions. So we know, obviously, the biggest glaring thing was our turnovers. Once we cut those down, we'll put ourselves in better positions. But, you can't view game by game as like we got to go up by, such points. It's a possession by possession battle.
And it's a chess match all the time. You talk about the finals, next move. What do you expect it's going to be different for game two?
I haven't even looked forward, to the expectation, brother. I think my biggest thing is just figuring out what we can change, as a collective unit. We study our film, we study the unit, and I can't tell you what our chess move's going to be, but we make our moves.
Myles, what's been the biggest thing that's led to success on road games this postseason? It's impressive.
Again, just overall belief in ourselves, and then just I think allowing ourselves to lose ourselves in the moment. I think when you're on the road, just the adversity, people booing you, people saying all sorts of. I gotta respect, OKC fans are a lot different than New York fans, but just the different things that get you going on the road is a little bit different.
What would you say gratifying part about this run for you? Because you've been through the highs and the lows. To get to this point, maybe you never thought that you would.
Yeah, bro, it's just the moment itself, man. Just every single day, just how painful it is after a game, just how much you don't sleep, how much better the food tastes, like all the little things, like I'm taking it all. I'm not taking it for granted, just finally being here and just finally being able to, just soak my feet in the moment, like I'm just taking it day by day. So I think the best part about it is just the process of it all. It's been a lot of fun.
Who would you say is from your teammates would be the best head coach in the future?
Oh, TJ McConnell for sure. He's gonna hate that, but TJ McConnell for sure.
And who would be the worst businessman?
Worst businessman. Well, I came out of left field. Let me think. The worst businessman on our team would probably be Ben Shepherd. I'll just say that just because it's an easy cop-out and I just saw him walk by.
Myles, Coach Carlisle gives you a lot of freedom on offense. Why does that work so well for this team?
Man, that's what this is about, man. That's where the roots of this game comes from. I think just when you go out and play pickup basketball or play street ball, whatever, you're just going out there creating. And, we're all savants out there, and I think it allows us just to be ourselves. And I think the days of, calling a play every single, time up and down, like, it's the playoffs, man. People scout for that. People scout your, your next move. So you got to be able to think and create on the fly.
Go right ahead, Bill.
What's good, Seth?
What impact, if any, did that have?
It's part of a formula, you know what I mean? And I think that when you get to this time of the year, you don't switch up, what you do. So we know this is a younger team, it's a team that kind of has the same philosophy as us, but, it's just in the fourth quarter when you get picked up full court or, you get word on the bid, like those shots are a lot harder to hit, the threes that you've been hitting all game are a little bit different than the last 3 minutes of the game when you're a little more tired. So, I think that it's an overall philosophy thing, but, at the end of the day, you got to continue to keep grinding it out.
Talking about
Yeah.
other sports, especially soccer. How do you experience
Yeah, I mean, you have two small market teams here, two communities that, really put everything behind their teams. So, yeah, like, so much more passion that comes with it, you know what I mean, as opposed to, your bigger market teams, if you will. Like this, some people, this is all they have, they pour everything they have into their team. So it's a lot louder in these type of environments. We definitely realized that game one, when you're in the huddle, you can't hear, or you got to give hand signals. I mean, that type of stuff is real, this time of the year. And then when we get back to Indiana, it's going to be the same exact thing. So it's just the ultimate competitor's environment, man. It's fun.
Myles, first half game one, not your greatest half. How did somebody step up at halftime in the locker room, send a message like go get back, stuff like that?
I think it was a collective messaging. It wasn't just one person that said we have to do this, and that. I think we all realized what the moment was. And again, I think our team thrives in adversity. We'd all been there plenty of times before, and we kept our messaging pretty simple. We knew the obvious glaring thing was the turnovers, and outside of that was just a collective will to get it done.
What sets Drew apart defensively? What makes him such a great defensive player?
Drew's a lot stronger than he looks. I don't think people don't realize that. He's a very balanced player. He's a very smart player, and I think his anticipation is huge as well. And someone that just has a natural feel for the game.
Myles, what is the most important value for you in the finals?
Most important what? I'm sorry?
The value.
Oh, value? Man, it's just the fact that, I'm here. I may not ever get this opportunity again. So while I'm here, I'm just going to take full advantage of it. So that's the biggest value, is the fact that you work so hard to get here and just never know when the opportunity will present itself again.
What's getting you ready for the next game?
Yeah. I literally was just talking to one of our rookies, Johnny Furphy, about it. It was just like, you're spoiled, man. The fact you get to, get this, as a baby is huge, man. But, whether you get here again or not, just you have to be where your feet are, man. Like, really enjoy, what this moment and opportunity presented itself to be. Even if you're not playing, man, just look at the cadences, look at the crowd, look at everything that comes with this, because, this is the final stage. We're the only team playing. Like what they said, EuroLeague's done, like all the bigger basketball leagues are done except for us, so it was fun. Man, I didn't know what to expect, because I got spoiled a little myself. My first year, I went to a Game 7, in the first round, and got to see a competitive environment. And you do just start thinking that, it's going to come year by year by year, and then you miss the playoffs 3 or 4 years, and it's like, oh wow, like that itch starts to come again.
The turnovers. Is it something that OKC was doing, like not as much complimentary
It's a combination. I think that they've built their brand and built their, just really overall the way they play off of their defense, the way they swarm the ball, the way they got guys selling out, So, a little bit was that, a little bit was us being a little careless with the ball, so it's a combination. So the media? Not necessarily, because I just know that this is the stage, right? Everybody wants to be here, including y'all. This is what y'all do this for, to cover the biggest moments, the biggest athletes, So not necessarily, and I think it's just a great opportunity for everybody.
Shane has one or two on heavy shots. How do you see like some people passing him? What was the process like? How did you feel like you guys did when you revisited those?
Could have been a lot better, to be honest. We realized he missed a few shots, but at the same time, for us collectively to get where we need to be, it has to be a better overall effort on him.